happy people. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Lord of the Rings Lego set, the Shire. This Lego set, based on the movie The Fellowship of the Ring, is 2017 pieces and it will retail for $269.99 USD on April 2nd for Lego insiders and April 5th for everyone else. There will additionally be a gift with purchase of Smeagol and Daigle with the purchase of the Shire from April 2nd through 8th while stocks last. Before I get started, thanks so much to the Lego group for sending the set over to me for review, and the GWP. As always, all thoughts and opinions are my own, even if you think they're not. If you've seen my room tour, you know that there's a whole section on this floor of my house, just somewhere else, of my Lord of the Rings collection. But for today, I've brought some of it here, just for background stuff, since, you know, it's not stuff that you normally see. So the Shire Lego set, I actually had the opportunity to see the reveal of this Lego set back in September at Fan Media Days, and it was a pretty incredible experience. I'm such a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I mean, just in general, seeing new Lego that nobody else has seen and then having to keep the secret for like 6 months, right? It's exciting. Some high-level thoughts before I dive deep into this set. I believe this could be the kind of set that you're gonna love to build. It's really cool. It's full of Easter eggs. It's really beautiful, but the final product may leave a little bit to be desired. But as I started building it, as it started coming to life in front of me, I was like, I love these bright colors. I love these nods to the movies. I love these little Easter eggs. This is definitely one that looks better in real life and up close. Like, there's just so much more to appreciate here than photos can do it justice. First, a quick look through the unboxing experience and the instructions. This set came with 15 numbered paper bags and 3 instruction booklets, so if you wanted to, you could build with 1 or 2 other friends. But of course, I kept this special build all to myself. Here's a look at that sticker sheet. Really minimal stickers here, actually. I was pleasantly surprised. And there was also a separate little envelope for the textiles in this set, which is the tent and the birthday sign. This Lego set comes with 9 minifigures, and it's quite the minifigure lineup, so let's get into it. Here we have an all-new Bilbo Baggins minifigure. He's wearing a light blue undershirt that has gold floral design on it, a maroon vest over it with some yellow detailed print throughout, and topped off with a dark red coat lined with green on the inside, and this is just gorgeous. Look at all of the printed detail on him. To note, this is the second older Bilbo look, but unlike the Rivendell set where he has white hair, here he still hasn't fully gone white yet because having the one ring throughout the years has slowed his aging significantly. His face prints, one depicts a big smile and the other one a more conniving one that you can probably use for when he performs his disappearing act on stage, which we'll get to later. Samwise Gamgee, this is a new minifigure where he's wearing a brown coat with dark brown detail, some short dual molded legs, and also the same face as the previous versions. I actually feel like he needs one of the faces to be more somber or sad, right? Or worried, because these, like, one of them is so serious and the other one is like super confident, and I feel like Sam is just worried half of the time that we see him in the movies. Frodo Baggins, this is such a great looking minifigure. He's got a white undershirt with a dark red vest, and there's gold ornate printed detail throughout the front and the back sides. This is so good. He has the short dual molded legs, but also has the alternate leg builds so he can sit on Gandalf's horse carriage. He has 2 face prints, and I believe at least the one with the open gap tooth smile is a new face print for Frodo we haven't seen before, which makes sense given this is Frodo before he's been through, you know, before he's been through some stuff. And his other face is more neutral smile, and this is a print we've seen his face have in the Rivendell set. Gandalf the Grey. Now, right off the bat, all I can think is, why is his face so angry? I think I saw Jang's video where he was reacting to the reveal of this Lego set, and he was like, this is giving Saruman, and I kind of have to agree. This Gandalf also does not have a second face print, which I was really surprised by because the one face print he comes with is so angry looking. You know, when he's joking about how a wizard is never late, it's like he's just permanently stuck in that face before he starts laughing. Anywho, this is pretty much almost the exact same minifigure as the one from Rivendell. The difference is the face underneath. As I've mentioned, it's a little angry, but it's also bearded, whereas the one in the Rivendell set is not bearded. He has an alternate look when you put on the wig instead of his hat, and also you have the sloped printed piece to use so he can be seated either in Bilbo's house or on his carriage. Merry Brandybuck, he's wearing a yellow and red plaid shirt with white sleeves, same smirk from the Rivendell set. I actually just noticed I'm not really fond of this little gap here between the yellow torso and then the legs. And then we have Pippin, Peregrine Took. He's wearing a white shirt with a green vest over it, and it's lined with some gorgeous gold detailing. Both these minifigures have the short dual molded legs as well, but a super fun feature to these two, they both have alternate face prints for the moment after they set off the dragon firework and it leaves their faces in a hair chart. Which means Lego also included charred gray hair wigs for both of them. According to the Lego designer, this is a Ninjago hairpiece recolored into dark bluish gray for these two. Also really appreciate that they didn't give them both the same face print, so it still has their distinguishing features like Merry's lighter eyebrows and Pippin's darker ones. Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, two all-new character minifigures. First up, Mr. Proudfoot, seen in a mustardy colored shirt with square print throughout. Really nice print, and he has dual molded legs, and he has 2 face prints. Mrs. Proudfoot, so for a super minor character, we have a lot going on here. To start, I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong, this hairpiece is recolored into this brown color, but it's only been seen on one other character, which is Wendy from Peter Pan. Again, I couldn't find anything else on that hairpiece other than Wendy, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, this is such a great looking hairpiece for this character. Her accessory is really cute and unique, so I wanted to call it out. It's this white carrot piece, which, like, is it supposed to be a carrot? Or I'm thinking of like the turnips on Animal Crossing, or maybe it's a really long turnip, some sort of a rooty vegetable. Here's her 2 face prints. Let's get that out of the way. Then for her outfit, so I love the corset torso. It's a white sort of wrap hooded undershirt with a moss green corset that looks so good. The print detail just looks so great. She has the dual molded legs as well, but over them is her skirt, which is an entirely new Lego part made for the creation of this character. The Lego designer mentioned in Denmark that they felt the skirt was necessary to bring this world to life and to also differentiate her skirt from Rosie's skirt. We'll take a look at hers here shortly. So really cool, I think. I love the skirt piece. And speaking of Rosie, we have the Rosie minifigure, and she is just so precious and happy and joyful. She's wearing a pretty light blue corset with a gorgeous print detail throughout the center, light blue sleeves, and there's beautiful print on the back side as well. This is the skirt piece that they wanted to be sure was distinguished from Miss Proudfoot's skirt. So they really wanted Rosie's to be more flowy since she's seen partying and dancing. She's got a super lively, smiley face on one side, a more muted smile on the other, and then a light brown hair wig. Or would that be considered red? I'm not sure. Something really evident as I went through all of these minifigures is that a lot of care and thought was put into designing these. Like, it definitely shows. The minifigure lineup is really good. The first thing you build in this Lego set is Gandalf's horse carriage. Let's take a look at this real quick. It's a nice small build, and it has a box in the back full of small firework builds. You can drag it across the counter. There's also plenty of room here for Frodo and Gandalf to sit side by side. To note, Gandalf doesn't fit with his hair wig on, only his hat, but that's also screen accurate anyways. Who travels by horse carriage without their wizard hat? Now onto the set itself. This set really impresses in real life. The shape of the exterior is perfect. I think they really nailed it here. I almost feel like this is the Lego set you could have given us. Like, we don't really need the side builds. So after you build Gandalf's horse carriage, the next part that you build is actually this center chunk of bag end. Then after that, you build the 2 sides to attach to it. There's a recolored element on the fence here for this piece. It's a boomerang piece, and it's been recolored into this, I think, medium nougat color. I thought the technique for the look of this fence was really pretty. There's a small pumpkin patch, some sunflowers, a mailbox, of course, the sign on the gate that says no visitors except on party business. We've got this like step tones and a little cobbled path up to the round door with a bench outside of it where Bilbo and Gandalf sit in the evening smoking their pipes. There's exactly 2 round windows in this build and then 3 arched windows, but they're still round on the inside, as you can see. And of course, the Hobbit standard round entrance. These round corner tiles above the windows and also encircling the entrance, they are newly printed elements. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find them on Bricklink. Here's a closer look at them. Also, some really great techniques used here for the rounded window look. If I could change anything about the exterior, is I would just like to see more foliage in general, like on these hills, and that could be something that I'm just going to add on to later. Above bag end, there are a few chimneys, a clothesline, a little birdie, and this tree. There's been a lot of commotion about how this tree is above the house, but there's no roots underneath it, which I don't know why that's an assumption that people would think, because if you look at the picture, like there is a tree above bag end. I think the roots probably go, I don't know, across and over the house. Maybe the roots were used for walls. There's actually a little piece of a root right here. I don't know, guys. It's a fake place. The Shire isn't real. Anyways, but before I move on to show you the interior, I did want to point out something that really bothers me about the exterior. There's 2 sections, so basically at the end of the build on both ends, you see this plate sort of hanging off to the side, and I don't know, maybe it won't bother you, but for me, I just don't like how it leaves a sort of shadow here. It doesn't extend to the exact length of the building, and maybe it's supposed to look as if it's like buried inside the green plates. I just don't feel like it's very organically looking the way that they, you know, achieved it for the rest of the build. I don't know, maybe it won't bother you, but I'm curious to know what you guys think think about it, let me know. So back to the tree. This tree section is actually easily removable. It's just sitting on 4 studs. So now we can get more light in here and just more access to place minifigures in there if we want to. So starting with the left side, first I'll point out this candle, and actually it is a pen Lego piece that has been recolored in white to create this effect of like a used candle that wax has been burning, and you'll see more of them throughout the build. The room that candle is in, the first of the 3 rooms in this building, is also the smallest. It's the study. There's a desk, a feather quill, and a book, and if you open it up, there's a sticker on there and back again. I also love that the front cover sticker has BB on the bottom. The paper beside his book says deed of contract, so probably because he's making all the arrangements to have all of his belongings transferred to Frodo in his absence, since he won't be returning and he doesn't want to give away any of his belongings to the rest of the Bagginses. This room also has a small fireplace with the little blower chimney contraption thing on the side and painting above the mantle of a tree. Next room is the entryway where Gandalf hits his head on the ceiling going into the next room. And now that I'm here, I do realize I forgot to tell you that Gandalf does come with a cape. I just had it hanging here in the entryway to Bilbo's house. So firstly, I want to point out the way they did the door decoration with these, are they rope pieces? I'm not sure, but this is so clever and it looks so good. It looks just like the real thing. And then one thing that I did not call out when we were talking about the exterior is that the gold handle in the center of the door frame is a microphone piece. I just thought that was pretty cool. Next, so this entryway rug is printed. There's 2 printed tiles you put together. Honestly, the print on this is very stunning. I do wish there was less of a gap in the printing going down the center though. On one wall, there's a coat hanger where I said I have Gandalf's cloak. There's a barrel here with an umbrella and a sword. Could this be a nod to Sting? I don't feel like Bilbo would just have Sting laying around there inside a barrel. There's a chest, and while there is a chest shown in the film, it's closed. This one is open, and it doesn't really shut, not while you have the thingies inside of them. So there is a fork, a spoon, a gold bar, and the mithril. It's stickered though, it's not printed. Here are some more melted wax candles separating this from the next room, which is the parlor where a few scenes take place. First, there's Bilbo's table where he has the map of Middle-earth out since he's doing research for his book, presumably, and there's some tea on the table. There's also a rug here, and it's again printed, and it's honestly so stunning. I love the designs. This one is just a little bit better looking than the red one because you don't have like the awkward gap in the center. Honestly, I really love both designs though. The fireplace in this room is larger, and it has a little play feature I'll show you in a sec. First, let's look at the details. Above the fireplace mantle are 2 portraits of Bilbo's parents. On the mantle is a cheese slope, and it's actually printed with cheese on it. I love it. I feel like it's a callback to when Bilbo has Gandalf over, and he's offering him like a ton of food, and Gandalf is like, I'll just have tea. And Bilbo's like, you don't mind to fight. He's like got like cheese in his mouth. Anyway, here's the play feature in the fireplace, which I think is so brilliant. There's a burning letter in the fireplace. It's a sticker. And turning this knob right here will flip it to expose the ring. It's pretty awesome. Now, obviously, I don't have the previous Bag End Lego set on hand. I do know that that one was something like 600 and change pieces. This entire set is 2017 pieces. And just to note, the final booklet and final 3 bags of this set are the side builds of this tent and this tree. So there's almost 400 pieces that were dedicated just to these side builds. That's just something to note. Now onto the various side builds that come with this set. Outside of Gandalf's carriage, of course, the 3rd instruction booklet is where you'll build these last 4 things. Here's a little grass patch with a table on it. You can see Bilbo's birthday cake, not quite 111 candles. Next, this little grass patch with the dragon firework that Merry and Pippin light up, and you can change out the dragon for this little black spiky foliage piece once the firework has been deployed and Merry and Pippin's faces and hair have been charred. The next thing you build is the tent that goes over that little section, and this textile is so stunning. I just can't get over how pretty this looks. The print looks so awesome, and I believe it's as film accurate as they could get. So the last build is this tree on top of the stage. First, you actually just build the stage on its own. This is really cute, and this is where that mechanism is where you can have Bilbo standing. There are 5 little barrels behind him and a sign above that says, "Happy Birthday, Bilbo Baggins." Again, phenomenal work from the graphic design team here. That looks so good, and it's entirely film screen accurate. The font is accurate. It just looks so good. So this is where you have Bilbo's now you see him, now you don't moment. I think if you're going to include any of these little side things, this is actually the perfect thing to include, and it works really well and it looks really good. And then you build the final thing of this Lego set, which is this really blocky looking Minecraft tree with a firework dragon on it. I can't even say anything about the firework dragon because this actually looks sick. Look at this. I think these are a bunch of Ninjago pieces, right? I don't know. This looks great. This tree, however, I was prepared to defend this tree. I was like, maybe it looks like that because of the disappearing mechanism. Maybe they had to shape it that way for some reason. But there's really no reason this tree should be shaped this way. I can't. I don't understand it, truly. So something I did take note of, remember how I said like the last few builds I counted. In bag 13, there was 111 pieces plus the tent textile, and it included the 2 Proudfoot minifigures. In bag 14, it included 130 pieces plus the birthday textile sign. And that also included Merry and Pippin minifigures. So those 130 pieces include Merry and Pippin. And in the final bag, 148 pieces, and that included Rosie. So what does that bring us to? That's 389, almost 400 pieces for that. And there was also 15 or 20 of those parts were like the extra rinky-dink pieces that you get in Lego sets. So like, I question how necessary any of these side builds are. I'll give you the horse and the carriage because like, that's cute. But like, could we have just had this set for, I don't know, $200, less than $200? Because obviously we probably wouldn't include the Proudfoots. I could see them adding Rosie and Sam just because Sam could be one of the minifigures that's outside the window, and Rosie because whatever. So could we have had 7 minifigures and just this for $200? I don't know. That's something that I just kept questioning as I was building because I do love how this looks. I think this looks great. But like, how necessary was this? Could we have used these 400 pieces to make the exterior, like make it a little longer? I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. So let me know what you guys think in the comments because that's just how I was feeling. I don't know why this tree looks like this when this tree above the Shire house looks pretty. Like this tree looks just fine. Like these branches to hold these green like foliage pieces, they're organically, and over here they just use these these kind of harsh pieces. There's clicking to move them up and down. Why is the trunk so square, rectangular? That's all I have to say on that. Like I had just fully convinced myself that the tree was blocky because of the moving stage function. But now that I know, the two are fully unrelated. I'll probably take that out. I'll tell you what though, I couldn't make a better tree. I don't know. So that's my feelings on this tree and on these side builds. I don't really feel like all of the side builds were necessary. As I said in the intro, this Lego set is $270 USD. It's 2,000 pieces. The price per parts value is not there. There's a lot of large pieces, like all of these curves for bag end, for example. I know that large pieces tend to raise the price of sets. I know that minifigures tend to raise the price of sets. All of these little Hobbit feet are dual molded because you can't just have them running around naked, obviously. All of these minifigures got really great detailed printing. Rosie got a new skirt. Rosie got a recolored hairpiece. There's a recolored pen. There's a recolored boomerangs. So like there's reasons, there's excuses. Oh my God, the textiles. This textile is beautiful, and so is the birthday sign. But again, then we go into the how necessary were these side parts? Could we have had a $200 set for just this? Basically, I think what I'm getting at is that I don't think that this is a set that you should rush out to get. The clear draw here is going to be this GWP. I believe these are all new. I haven't even, to be honest, looked at this closely. It looks like all new torsos. They're definitely new characters. I think it's really cool, albeit a bit morbid, that they made this scene into a GWP. But if you don't care about the GWP, hey, you could probably sell it for what, 50, 100 bucks? What did the Fell Beast end up going for? I think that went for like $150 at some point. I do love this set, but I cannot justify the $270 price tag. And I do have Barad Dur and Rivendell behind me. Those sets really impress, and they have commanding presence, and that's not something that this one has. This is really cute. This is really charming and cozy on the inside even. I have no problems with the inside. I do understand some people think it's too small. That's fine. But to have this follow those, it had a very hard task ahead of it, and frankly, I don't think it succeeded in it. But I am happy for everybody who was not able to get the set from 2012? It was also based on the Hobbit movies. Honestly, not my favorite movies. I love the Lord of the Rings movies much more. I know a lot of people who are excited about this. They're just not excited about the price tag, and I frankly can't say I blame them. I think that's it. Alrighty then, if you've stuck around this far, please give this video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here. Did anybody else notice I'm using this fluffy thing on my microphone? I wonder if it's gonna make a difference. Okay, bye.